Standard math leads. Let's have a crack at this challenging stats question from the HSC. The average mark was only 2 out of 4. So we have a couple of data sets and we are adding a new number x into the data set and we're trying to figure out what it is. Now the question says that the difference between the means of the two data sets is 10 times the difference between the medians of the two data sets. Okay, well let's start off by figuring out what our medians are. In our first data set, we've only got 5 numbers, so the median is right here and it's going to be 9. For our second data set, adding in the x, we now have 6 numbers. So our median, or our middle, is going to be right here between the 9 and the 10, which is 9.5. So that means that the difference between our medians is just going to be 9.5, take away 9, so they have a difference of 0.5. Okay, there we go, there's a mark. Now, it says that the difference between the means is 10 times the difference between the medians. So we take our difference in medians and we times that by 10. So 10 lots of a half gets us 5, and this tells me that the difference between our two means is going to be 5. Okay, in the first data set, I have all the numbers, so I can figure out what the mean of this is to then figure out what the mean of this data set needs to be so we can figure out x. So let's find the mean of these 5 numbers by adding them together and then dividing by 5. If we perform this calculation, you get a result of 8. So if this data set has an average of 8 and the difference between the means is 5, this data set is going to have a bigger average because the x that's being added in is the largest number. So that means our new mean needs to be 5 bigger than 8. So we're looking for a new mean of 13. So the last mark of this question is the tricky one. It is how do we figure out what the extra number is that goes in here that makes these 6 numbers have an average of 13. Well, we've got to kind of work backwards here. So let's pretend we were finding the mean of these 6 numbers. We would add them together, and because there's 6 of them, we would divide by 6, and we want the answer of the mean to be 13. So the right-hand side is going to be 13, and now we just solve this equation for x. We can do this by adding together the 5 numbers on the top. While we're doing that, we'll get rid of this divided by 6 by multiplying it across to the right and do 6 times 13. Okay, the 5 numbers add to give 40, so we have 40 plus x. The right-hand side is now 6 times 13, which is 78. That's the hard step done because now to solve for x, we just need to take away 40 from 78. And that gets us x equals 38 for 4 marks. And there is a Band 5 question done and dusted. Good luck for your HSC.